Welcome. Now today you and me, but mostly me, are in for a very special treat because I've got Chef Emma's in my kitchen about to raid my fridge.
I love the fact that it's just such a chill zen vibe in here. You've even got incense burning.
Oh yeah, I know. Austin's at school, so it's just myself, Hayley and Sienna here today. So it's pretty chilled.
All is good. Should we have a route round?
We've already rearranged my fridge for Instagram, which is ridiculous. But all the produce is what I had planned to cook with this week.
The kind of stuff you normally have kicking around and or some leftovers from our filming.
Yeah. The way we usually shop is we'll get the ingredients needed for one Sidekick recipe pack, and then we buy a few extra bits and pieces to kind of fill the gaps.
Finding your flavour profile here. Mint sauce and mint jelly. Pax flavour.
Yeah.
Really good. Might come to that later on. Apple sauce plus apples.
Yeah.
Whortleberry.
Yeah.
Taste of the West Gold Award. It's a jam, also known as bilberry, huckleberry or wild blueberry.
I've not had that yet, that was a gift.
Oh, maybe we won't open that.
Please do. Need to find a reason to use it because I don't really know what those berries are. We use a lot of mint sauce because we think lamb is the favourite meat in the house. But also, I'm married to a northerner and she loves sauce with everything.
So we've got some serrano ham, delicious. Let's crisp it up.
What do you want?
Just a baking tray, mate.
Bake this one here.
No, it's not.
There is.
That's a roasting tin.
It's a bake, that is a tray.
Okay, we're also going to roast him for the equipment he does or doesn't have in his kitchen after all these years.
I have one of everything.
Okay, we're going to crisp up the ham. So we've got like shards that we can use at the end.
As a chef, you've got lots of mates who want to make the most of having a friend who's a chef. When you go over to other friends' houses, how do you feel when you're cooking in their home?
So this works two ways, right? I have some great friends who are also excellent cooks, and there's no kind of like pretense. It's like if you're being invited round, dinner is always going to be excellent, can't wait.
Yeah.
Some friends go, come on round. Do you want to cook? Has happened. Yeah. So I've rocked up to friends' houses with literally like a bag full of mise en place, almost like DIY food kit that I've prepped and we do. I'm cool with that. They're hosting. It's their wine rack. I'll do a bit of cooking. Yeah. Fine. And sometimes we just eat out. Right, that's going to crisp up.
This feels like a chef unleashed in your own kitchen, isn't it?
Scallops.
Yeah, little scallops.
Tiny little baby ones. With that, you're a butter man, so...
You've literally got nothing planned.
No, we'll see what we find. Your fridge feels like every time you open it, it's kamikaze. Like everything's just going to attack you.
Yes.
The counter to that is that your dry store is phenomenally well organised, unpacked and like sorted. I like it.
One thing I hate is excess packaging. So we take all of our stuff out of the packaging to put it into the store cupboard to help it organise it and get to things quickly. I think most of my cooking at home is using store cupboard ingredients, not fresh stuff as well, which is probably why.
Classic flavours. There's nothing new here, but always a good reliable one. Hard herbs and garlic. Apple, spring onion, ginger, scallop, more apple.
Apple and scallops?
Yeah, why not? A couple of things that I would suggest, and we always have, that everyone invests in. A slip mat for your chopping board. You've got a lovely work surface. It works. A couple of blobs of kitchen roll under it to stop it rolling around. Slip mat.
That's not my chopping board though.
We brought our own, because I literally could not bear to use that.
That's not the smallest one either.
No, there is one even smaller. I saw these in here, which are cute.
They're Austin's raisins.
Austin's raisins, individual portion pack. Wonderful, we only need a few, so that works. Dried fruit, clues in the title. They're dried. Let's undry them.
You love re-soaking raisins, don't you?
Rehydrating dried fruit.
Let me guess, with booze?
Oh, we could do. But we do want it to be a flavour that's going to work with our scallops and ginger and apple. So let's keep it where we're at. Let's rehydrate grapes with grapes.
Ooh, pretentious grapes.
Put life back into those. What else have we got? Lots of Asian condiments. So soy sauce, oyster sauce. Don't know how long they've been in there, but they've still got their... They're still unwrapped. And I know what event you were given that at, and I know therefore it's been in your cupboard for about a year unopened. We'll toast that off. We'll do a little thing on toast, but it was scallops on toast.
What do you mean? You've got to go out?
You've got another child who needs picking up.
You're right. Okay, we're all here now. Great.
Chop and chat.
I'm going to gurgle. What's he doing in our kitchen?
I'm prepping some spring onions, Baz. Half of it is going to be a salad, raw, with the apple and ginger. We'll get some nice textures going on there. And the other bits we will use to sweat off as we cook our scallops.
I have the same things in my fridge every week, and therefore I tend to cook the same things. It's really interesting to see your head come into this, and with a whole new perspective.
On the same ingredients?
As long as you take it in a completely different way, and so far you're putting ingredients together that I would never do so.
I think they're familiar, but they're hopefully different applications of that familiarity. A little bit of sort of nice garnish will make a little salad. Slightly more chunkier spring onions that we're going to soften off.
So you're thinking, what the heck is going on?
Right, top tip, peeling ginger, avoid the waste, always use a spoon. You have such excellent selection of cutlery to hand.
We have more cutlery for people under the age of 6 and over.
Very fine julienne of ginger, because this is going to be raw in the dish, so it's going to give a nice warmth, and you don't want too big a chunk.
Do you have any idea what he's making? I'm a bit lost. She is transfixed by you, Ben. Intrigued by everything you're doing.
Everything I do is peculiar.
What the heck?
To cook our scallops, found some what I presume is coconut fat, or like a dessert.
You can try and cook with it.
What is it, Baz?
It's for the birds.
It's for the birds, yeah.
It's for the birds. It's coconut fat in a coconut.
Coconut fat in a coconut with loads of seeds. It's for the birds. Then you open the fridge and go, oh, look at this, more food, beef flavoured. Oh, it's for the cat. You've got more food for animals in your fridge.
Thing is, we have tried making those ourselves with leftover fats. Instead of putting it on a drain, we mix it in with some seeds and put it in coconuts.
You just hang it for the birds.
Yeah.
It's excellent. I love the care and attention you take to your local wildlife.
Yeah. They're really fat birds, but...
Wafer thin slices with a hashtag gifted knife.
Oh yeah, that's another freebie. Don't you laugh.
Don't you laugh, you've got one as well, Tom.
Yeah. The embarrassing thing about you guys coming over, you start to see all the things I have stolen and a few more.
Do you know what? It's actually really great to see, because over the years we've gone through so much stuff at the studio, and we have a team, you know, nearly 20 strong, and stuff that has lived its life in the studio and isn't required anymore finds a second home, whether it's at your home or one of our home or one of the crew's home, the team. And if not, it goes on Olio and we get someone come and pick it up. Give it a new lease of life.
Although the waffle maker is in there that Kush has been asking for
yeah,
back
we do want
for a
that
long
back.
time.
Right, crispy ham, hot tray. Don't put it down on your surfaces because you wouldn't like that.
Oh, again.
But into the oven now with some cloudy olive oil.
Where's it gone? Oh, my microphone! Literally my mic's gone. You know, can I have this back?
What else could we do?
This is a lovely format. I feel like at this stage in our lives, we're a bit more settled. We've made with our job as well. We've kind of made relatively educated choices in the things we have in front of us, but we're still keeping to our usual traits.
Yeah, there's nothing here that surprises me in your kitchen. In fact, it's almost like you've been living your own stereotype for the last 14 years on the channel. It makes sense. Comment down below, is there anything you expected to find in Barry's fridge or cupboard that we haven't yet pulled out? Because it probably exists. Now scallops, really hot searing pan, get a nice flat side, seasoned up, get them into the pan, and it's only when they've got that wonderful crust do you turn them over. That's not going to be possible with these tiny little scallops. So instead, we're going to cook them in a lovely foaming garlic rosemary butter.
Yes.
And a little creamy sauce around it to go over our flatbread with our crisp salad. So butter in, and when that's foaming and delicious, we'll go in with the scallops. So into this bowl, spring onion, julienne of ginger. We might not need all of that because it's quite fiery. Apple. It's all about textures and angles, so I'm going to go nice and fine.
Bye.
Matchsticks of apple. For this particular bit, I don't need those ones. A little bit of mint sauce. So the acidity from the mint sauce, going with the ginger, the apple, our boozy rehydrated raisins, a little bit of parsley.
We don't season throughout like you're meant to. We season at the end. If you make portions for kids, give it to them, and then you season your versions at the end.
So true. You're always going to adapt to your own ways, your own lifestyle. But look at that, super fresh, sweet from the raisins and the apple. Oops, I've done a Barry.
Right here.
Delicious, nothing of that as a side dish with the scallops. Our butter's foaming, so now's a good time to go in with our chunky spring onions. Give them a 30-second head start, then the garlic and the rosemary, then all of the scallops. The garlic and the rosemary doesn't need long before the scallops go in. I don't want to overcook these little scallops, so before long, a little bit of colour on them. In with a splash of white wine. We've got this open, so it's a bit bougie for this dish, but hey, it's scallops. Plus, we'll go in with a dollop of applesauce. So you've got rosemary, garlic, scallop, apple, acidity of wine, and then you've got some cream cheese left over.
Yeah.
So we'll make a cream cheesy sauce around those scallops. So it's creamy, acidity, sweet and fruity. Let's see what happens.
And that won't split.
We'll find out. And the last thing to go in is a dollop of cream cheese. And that kind of just makes a creaminess around the apples and around the wine and around all the butter. And that is pretty much there. As soon as that comes up.
What do you want now?
What is this for a draw?
What do you mean? It's got everything you can ever wish for. I didn't pay for any of it. I started from the studio.
I've noticed. What I was looking for was something to... Now what I'll have to do. Smush this together. Crispy bread. 1 clove of garlic while it's crispy. Just rubbed over for essence of. Oh, that's not hygienic. You don't have one of them in the kitchen.
We've got an extra guest, extra mouth to feed. This is her second day in the house, so you're getting a proper treat today.
Spring onion, garlic, rosemary, ginger, apple, and therefore this wonderful salad.
That is a weird mix I would
On the
never put
side.
together myself.
Some beautiful ribbons of courgette, because you have them.
Look at that.
3's the magic number. I've done 2 portions, only plating 1. You get the idea.
That is ridiculous, Ben.
And then a shard of that. Oops.
Incredibly fitting, mate. Terribly pretentious.
It's wonderfully pretentious, but it's a celebration of scallop, apple, ginger, and some things in your cupboard and fridge on a plate. Hindsight's everything. This was off the cuff. I'm gonna get rid of that.
Oh, really?
I don't know why I put it on the plate, if I'm honest. I mean, it's because I felt like we wanted some extra sort of fresh salad, but it kind of
tell that was
spoiled it.
bugging you.
It was bugging me.
Apple and cream cheese. Applesauce and cream cheese is a winner.
And the sweetness of scallop, I hope.
I know it's a little bit fancy, but I love scallops and I always cook them the same way, always just in a ton of butter.
Yep.
Never thought to mix it in with cream cheese. Applesauce is one of those things I've been taught that it only goes with pork, but here it's wicked.
And what is pork? It's a white meat that's kind of sweet when you cook it. You can't really cook these as you would big scallops. So you treat them almost like prawns in the way you quickly saute. Don't overcook them or they become rubber, but balanced out with ginger, apple, and the acidity of the wine, saltiness of the ham, freshness of the salad.
Yeah, brilliant.
This is your food.
Doesn't taste like my food. As an experience, a lot more enjoyable than I was expecting. You held back, it felt like.
I could have rooted around in your cupboards more.
Out of
Some
10?
of your pans. Oh.
Rate my kitchen.
Fridge, 7.5. Dry store, 8.5. Equipment, 4.5.
Oh.
But there's something to work on there.
Okay, cool. I can't wait to see you do the same thing in the other guys' kitchens and see how they come off.
Mike would never let us near his house.
Exactly. Well, we want an invite to Mike's house because none of us
Not
have been
been invited yet,
No. So if you get 20,000 likes to this video, he might give us an invite.
His house is like his castle.
Yeah.
He's there with the family. The moat and the drawbridge are there. It's a sanctuary. Yeah. He wouldn't have us and the cameras in.
Let's not go there.
Unless this gets 20,000 likes.